All right, in this explainer, we are tackling a question that I think keeps almost all of us up at night at some point. And that is, why won't our brains just switch off?
You know that feeling, right? It's just so classic. Your body is completely wiped out, you've had a monster of a day, you finally get to hit the pillow. And then, just as you're about to drift off, bam, your brain decides now is the perfect time to solve every single problem you've ever had. And maybe a few you'll have in the future, just for good measure.
So this whole thing, this phenomenon, we're calling it the unresting mind. And yeah, it totally feels like a glitch in the system, doesn't it? But as we're about to find out, it is so much more complex than that.
And it's not just, random noise. It gets really specific, doesn't it? Suddenly your mind is replaying that one super awkward conversation you had, 3 years ago? Or it's stress testing that big work project that's still weeks away. Or, hey, maybe it just decides to dive straight into the deep end and start questioning the entire meaning of your existence. It is just exhausting.
Okay, but here's the big twist. What if I told you that this isn't a sign that you're broken? The whole idea we're digging into today is that this constant mental activity, it's actually a feature of a highly active mind. It's not a flaw.
We throw around labels like insomnia or stress all the time, but what if we just reframed that for a second? Psychology actually suggests this isn't some kind of disorder. It's more like a side effect of having a really powerful analytical mind. Yeah, think of it like you're running on a completely different operating system.
And this idea, this is so, so important. You are not doing anything wrong. It's simpler than that. You are just carrying a mind that is basically wired for constant activity. It's a fundamental part of who you are. So, okay, if it's not a flaw, then what in the world is actually going on up there? Let's break down the real psychological drivers behind this unresting mind.
We're going to dive into 5 key reasons, the psychological explanations for why your brain stays all fired up, even when you are just desperate for it to power down. All right, first up, mental simulations. See, a lot of research actually links higher cognitive ability with more analytical processing. Your brain is basically a specialist at running what-if scenarios. So when the world finally goes quiet at night, your mind sees that as a golden opportunity.
And that's when it starts simulating future possibilities or replaying past interactions. But here's the thing. It's not just idle daydreaming. No, it's actively looking for patterns, for flaws, for any little inefficiency you might have missed. To your brain, this isn't overthinking. This is a survival habit. It's designed to keep you prepared for absolutely anything.
Okay, so building right on top of that is our second reason, metacognition. This sounds fancy, but it's literally the act of thinking about your own thoughts. And let me tell you, it is an incredibly powerful tool for reasoning.
So instead of just having a belief, a person with high metacognition is constantly asking, wait, why do I believe this? Could I be biased here? This kind of internal self-questioning is a hallmark of really strong reasoning, but wow, does it consume a massive amount of mental energy. And that habit, it doesn't just magically switch off at 11 p.m. Your brain just keeps auditing its own performance, and that creates this endless loop of self-evaluation that makes rest feel, pretty much impossible.
All right, number 3 is a really interesting concept from psychology called desirable difficulty. The idea here is that our brains don't just want things to be easy. No, they actually get stronger by struggling with complex mental challenges, like a muscle. And this is where the twist comes in. If your day was actually too easy, if it didn't give you enough of a mental workout, your brain literally gets bored. So what does it do at night? It invents its own complex problems for you to solve, almost like it's giving itself homework. It's a pretty fascinating idea, right? That your racing thoughts might just be a sign that your mind is actually understimulated.
Okay, our 4th reason, and this is a big one, is existential anxiety. When you have a brain that's good at advanced reasoning and abstract thinking, it often just naturally starts to drift toward life's biggest questions. What's my purpose? What happens when we die? What's the real meaning of my work?
And here's the problem. Unlike a simple to-do list, these questions have no easy answers. So mulling them over can create this low-grade state of anxiety that basically keeps your nervous system on high alert. It's incredibly hard for your brain to switch gears from that super deep processing mode into a genuine resting mode.
And finally, we have number 5, high information priority. Just think of your brain as this super-powered, hyper-organized sorting machine.
All day long, it's constantly trying to build links and create a perfectly coherent map of every single thing you saw, heard, and felt. Now, for highly active mind, this can easily create a state of cognitive overload. So at night, when you're supposed to be resting, your brain is still busy encoding and sorting all of that data from the day. The analogy I love is it's like trying to sleep in the middle of a library while all the librarians are frantically reshelving all the books at once. It's chaotic.
Okay, I know. After hearing all that, it might sound a little bleak, but this is where we pivot. Because having a mind that works this way, yeah, it's exhausting, but it's also the source of your greatest strength.
If you take away one thing from this, let it be this. You are not difficult. You are not broken. You are simply wired differently. Your brain is built to value deep analysis and truth over just easy comfort. And that is a really rare and powerful thing.
You know, all that stuff we talked about, the mental simulations, the metacognition, the constant pattern seeking? That is the exact same mental engine that produces your absolute best ideas, your deepest insights, and your unique ability to see the world with such incredible clarity. It's a total double-edged sword, for sure, but man, it is a powerful one.
So I want to leave you with this final thought. Our natural instinct, it's to try and shut this kind of mind down, right? To fight it into submission so we can just get some sleep. But what if the goal isn't to silence it? What if, now that you understand a little more about how it works, you could stop fighting your mind and instead learn how to